Okay, we are back and we're visiting now with a pair of the Franklin Regional Panthers players that have got the club positioned for another strong run at the Greater Allegheny Conference Championship, which they ended up winning last year. To my right is a young man that was coming out of the gate like a house of fire last Friday in the victory up at Mars, and that is Jake Lauer, who plays both sides of the ball, tight end on offense, and doing a nice job from a linebacker position. And then to my left, in the middle of that offense, last week starting when Bryce Lauer was unable to go, was Jake Pickup. And gentlemen, it's good to have you on the show, and I'm going to start first with Jake Lauer. Jake, how do you account for such an outstanding start? You came out fired up and making plays.
Yeah. I don't know. I just was ready for the game, pumped up for the game, and I knew it was going to be a really important game to win. So I just had to try to make as many plays as I could and do the best I could for the team.
That was your first sack of the year, but was it the first sack in your career on the varsity?
No. Last year I had a couple of sacks against Knock and a few sacks throughout the season, but.
Going into that game last week, Jake, that was a big game by all accounts. I described it on the pregame as it was going to be a 4-quarter knuckle buster, and it went down to the final seconds. As you guys were preparing last week, did you give a little extra attention to Mars, considering they've been such a thorn in our side the last couple of years?
Yeah, we did look a lot at their offense because we knew that there was going to be a difficult offense to stop. We repped a lot in practice, a lot of their belly, a lot of their gut, a lot of their sprint out, a lot of boot action, a lot of passing. And that's basically what all they ran. And then, in the last quarter, they did run a lot of passing, so it was good that we were prepared for them.
What do you think has been your best area of development so far this season after 3 games have been played? What do you think you've gotten better at the most so far?
I would definitely say reading my guards to the backfield, because I would basically just look mainly more towards the backfield without reading my guards, but then whenever you get your pull calls and everything else, it keeps everybody on the same page and lets you know where the ball's going.
That last drive of the game, the start at their own, I'm referring to Mars, at their own 3. And, of course, it culminated with great pressure coming from Charlie Mazon, your teammate on the quarterback, and then the outstanding individual effort by Jacob to intercept the ball and get it over to close out the game. Warren, you were out there on the field during that time. What kind of thoughts were going through your mind?
Those are always the worst games to be a part of because you're just sitting there, just like you need a big play to happen, and you're trying to make it yourself. But I was really glad whenever I saw Ross pick that ball off. But yeah, it was definitely a nail biter.
And of course, coming up against Indiana here tonight, their team, the same record, 2-1, also looking at a chance to make the playoffs. So this is not going to be an easy opponent by any stretch of the imagination. Any concern about a letdown from last week's thrilling last-second victory?
Not really. I just think that we need to get more on the same page as in our passing game-wise, like on defense, because of what happened last week in the fourth quarter. I definitely think if we seal that up, because we know that they have big wide receivers and a quarterback who can throw and run, and if we lock them down, I think we should be all right.
Well, let's hope, Jake, you and your teammates can lock them down and get win number 3 as we continue through what is a rapidly moving high school football season.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Thanks a lot, Jake.
Anytime.
That's Jake Lauer. Now I turn to my left, and we're going to talk to the gentleman on the line last week. And I tell you what, you didn't have an easy matchup starting at center this year. That Robinson young man, 380 pounds, and he's legitimately 380 pounds, was a big load. How do you think you fared against him?
Well, I think I did pretty good. My guards helped me a lot. We just would double team him straight up to the backer. We were able to stand him up. He didn't get through us. We just stood him straight up, and he just stood there.
Playing both on both ways, where you go both ways, or just on the offensive line. What do you think is some of your strengths?
Well, I will admit I was kind of nervous for this game because I didn't really play center that much because I was starting guard. And then when Lauer went down, I was center at the very beginning of the year, and then I had to go in. So I thought we were going to struggle a little bit with the line, but I think we did pretty strong there.
Absolutely. The running attack last week averaged about 4.5 yards a carry, and as Coach Bada likes to say, he'll take 4, 4, 4. That's a first down.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about your background, how long you've been playing football, and what made you, Jake, decide to take up the sport?
Well, I started football whenever I was little through like the midget programs and everything, and then I got up here. Last year was my first year of varsity, and when Adam Mahokey went down last year, I ended up starting at right guard, and then I just kept going after that.
What's it mean to you to be a part of a Franklin Regional program that has become one of the most successful in Class AAA under the direction of Coach Bottom?
It makes me feel pretty good because I think we have good team, good coaches, and we're like a big family.
Now, as you're looking ahead when you graduate, is college in your future, and what schools are you looking at?
Yeah, it is. I'd like to go to college for like criminal justice, and I kind of want to go into a military college.
Okay. Well, you guys put some justice on that Mars team last week and that thrilling victory. Congratulations on that, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
That is Jake, number 1 on the left, and that's Jake Pickup, and this is Jake, number 2, Jake Lauer on the right. We'll be back with more of our pregame show, and I'll let the 2 Jakes get ready to get dressed for this contest right after this break. You are watching Franklin Regional Panthers football right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.